Christmas at the Albury Hospital. The interior of the Albury District Hospital presented a delightful festive scene during the Christmas holidays, where the two main wards and the main building were gaily and artistically arrayed in glorious and harmonious colour schemes to accentuate the spirit of Christmastide. The halls and the passageways were arrayed with flags and bunting and branches of gaily coloured artificial blossom, while the boardroom, wherein the committee of the hospital assembled on Christmas Day to drink the health of the sisters, nurses and staff, was decked out in a pretty scheme of mauve and violet streamers, forming a canopied latticework overhead. Here set out on the table were dainties and all good things to eat and drink, in partaking of which the committee wished the hospital good fortune. The Albury Banner and Wodonga Express, 28 December 1923. Registration of Nurses. An Act of Parliament for the State Registration of Nurses came into force on July 1, 1924. The Act provides for the registration of any person who was, at the coming into force of the Act, a member of the Royal Victorian Trained Nurses Association, or who can provide satisfactory evidence of having done at least 3 years bona fide nursing, either in a training school or in private hospitals, or who can produce evidence from medical men of having nursed the sick for at least 3 years before the commencement of the Act. After 3 years from the commencement of the Act, none but those who have trained in hospitals which have been registered by the Board under the Act will be eligible for registration as nurses. No nurse will be able to hold a position as a trained nurse in any public hospital which is a recognised training school unless she is registered by the Board. Neither will she be able to wear any distinctive headdress or badge that may be registered by the Board. At present, New South Wales is the only state that has not obtained an Act for the state registration of nurses. Such an Act is now before the Parliament of New South Wales. In England, some hundreds of hospital-trained nurses neglected to register within the given time, and they were surprised to find that not even sitting for an examination would enable them to obtain registration. It is necessary that all matrons and sisters of training schools shall be registered under the Act. One of the objects of the Act is to obtain reciprocity with other portions of the Empire. The Argus, 8 November 1924. The Matron's Report. President, Gentlemen of Committee, District Hospital, Albury. Sirs, I beg to submit my report on the nursing staff and work for the year ending December 1924. During the year 1924, K. Fletcher, E. Mannion and C. G. Dyring passed the final ATNA examination. The course of lectures were given to probationers, and the following nurses were successful in anatomy and physiology examination: Nurses Wren, Nisbet, Stewart, Lobban, Yule, Mackenzie and Brady. There were 16 applicants for admission to the training school. There were 7 resignations. 3 were wanted at home, 1 resigned through illness, and 3 left to be married. The annual report of the Albury District Hospital for the year 1925. Albury Base Hospital Nurses Uniform. Shirt dress with 6 gored skirt. 1. Belt, 1.5 inches wide, finished with 2 buttons. 2. Dress fastened with 8 or 9 buttons according to length of skirt, i.e., tall girls need more buttons. 3. 2.5 inch hem on skirt, skirt length 15 inches from ground. 4. Sleeve 1 inch above elbow when finished. 5. Collar and cuffs of white material. 6. Good seams to be allowed. 7. Make dress an easy fit. Allow room for winter spencer underneath. 8. Buttons to be detachable variety. 9. Owner's name to be clearly marked on inside collar, back of neck. 10. Mark belts also. ARM 12.185.02. Albury Base Hospital Forms. Queen Competition, late 1930s. They had a Queen competition and matrons stood for the hospital. On the final night, she didn't feel like getting in a flash dress or asking her attendants to, and as it was for the hospital, she decided to wear uniform. Everyone thought it was a great idea. It was during wartime, of course. Personal Recollections by Daisy Reed, 2013. Nurses' Quarters at Albury Hospital. Albury, Tuesday. The committee of the Albury Hospital has created an interesting precedent with the splendid accommodation, furnishing and equipment in the new nurses' home, which was opened today by the Minister for Health in New South Wales, Mr Fitzsimmons. Built at an approximate cost of £12,000, the two-storey building is severely plain in design, but lacks nothing in the way of comfort or labour-saving devices for the benefit of the staff. It includes 38 single bedrooms for nurses, a lounge, a study, a complete suite for the night nurses, and a wing for the sisters. The matron suite consists of bedroom, sitting room, bathroom, and small private balcony. There are 6 bath and shower rooms, and a very modern laundry and kitchen quarters. Most of the bedrooms open with double doors onto wide balconies. The nurses' lounge has a special dancing floor and is comfortably furnished in modern style. The sisters' lounge is also most attractively furnished. In the corridors, small night lights are set close to the floor and burn continuously through the night. The colourings chosen for the walls, woodwork, carpets and furnishings are all most attractive and restful. The up-to-date kitchen, which is fitted with cream tiles, has a bench running around 3 sides, which, with the sink, is stainless steel. The linoleum and the gas stove are green, and the furnishings are cream and green. The laundry has hot and cold water over the set-in tubs, and there is hot water service throughout the building. Many gifts from interested citizens and members of the hospital committee provide additional comfort for the nurses. The Argus, 10 November 1937.